Welcome to the Bare Metal Cyber Security Plus podcast. This series helps you prepare for the CompTIA Security Plus exam with focused explanations and practical context. For a companion study guide, check out the Achieve CompTIA Security Plus 701 Exam Success by Dr. Jason Edwards. It is the most concise and complete Security Plus guide on the market, built for busy professionals who want to pass the exam fast and on their first try. You can find this book and others at cyberauthor.me. Cyber attackers don't always go through the front door. Sometimes they come in through a fake link, a spoof domain, or a cleverly crafted email that bypasses your first layer of defenses. That's why two areas, domain name system filtering and email security, have become mission critical for modern cybersecurity teams. In this episode, we explore how DNS filtering, email authentication protocols, and secure email gateways can prevent threats before they ever reach a user's inbox or browser. Let's start with DNS filtering techniques. Domain name system filtering works by controlling which domain names users can resolve. When a user types a website into their browser, their device contacts a DNS server to translate that domain name into an Internet Protocol address. DNS filtering intercepts that request and determines whether the domain is safe, blocked, or unknown. Security-focused resolvers maintain databases of malicious, suspicious, and newly registered domains. When a request matches a known bad domain, such as a phishing site, a malware delivery domain, or a command and control server, the DNS filter denies the resolution and stops the connection. This means the user never reaches the dangerous destination, even if they click the link or type the domain manually. DNS filtering has several advantages. First, it's fast and invisible to the user. It blocks threats before a connection is made. Second, it works across protocols, stopping threats in web traffic, email links, or mobile apps. Third, it's effective for roaming users. Many solutions offer agents that enforce DNS policies on laptops and mobile devices, even off-network. Let's walk through a practical example. A nonprofit organization uses DNS filtering to protect employees from phishing attacks. One day, a staff member receives a spoofed email with a link to a fake login page. The link appears legitimate, but points to a malicious domain. When the user clicks, the DNS resolver blocks the request, logs the attempt, and redirects the browser to a warning page. The phishing attack fails not because the email was filtered, but because DNS filtering intercepted the request. Another case involves malware. A school district uses DNS filtering to block known malware domains. A student downloads a pirated game installer that attempts to connect to a command and control server. The DNS request is blocked, preventing the malware from activating. Without DNS filtering, the infection could have spread or communicated sensitive data to attackers. However, DNS filtering isn't a silver bullet. It should be combined with content filtering, endpoint protection, and threat intelligence for layered security. It's also important to monitor logs, tune categories, and block newly registered domains that often serve as the launchpad for phishing or malware campaigns. Now let's move on to email authentication and security. Email is one of the most common and effective attack vectors. Attackers often use spoofed addresses, lookalike domains, and compromised accounts to trick users into clicking malicious links or sharing sensitive data. To defend against this, organizations implement email authentication protocols, specifically SPF. Let's break these down. Sender Policy Framework, or SPF, is a DNS record that lists which mail servers are authorized to send email on behalf of your domain. When a receiving server gets a message, it checks the sending server's Internet Protocol address against the SPF record. If it doesn't match, the email can be rejected or marked as suspicious. Domain Keys Identified Mail, or DKIM, adds a digital signature to outbound emails. This signature is verified by the receiving server to ensure the message wasn't altered in transit and that it came from the expected domain. DKIM ensures integrity and improves trust. Domain-based message authentication, reporting, and conformance, also known as DMARC, builds on SPF and DKIM. It allows domain owners to publish a policy that tells receiving mail servers what to do with messages that fail SPF or DKIM checks. DMARC also provides reporting so that domain owners can see who is trying to spoof them. Together, these protocols create a strong email authentication framework. Let's look at a practical scenario. A university configures SPF, DKIM, and DMARC for its email domain. 1 week later, they receive reports that students are being targeted by phishing messages that claim to be from the registrar's office. Because DMARC is set to reject messages that fail SPF or DKIM, the forged messages are blocked before they reach student inboxes. The university also receives DMARC reports that help them identify which Internet Protocol addresses attempted the spoofing. With this information, they can notify their email security provider and strengthen their filters. Another example comes from a law firm that sends confidential messages to clients. By using DKIM, they ensure that the messages arrive intact and unmodified. Clients who check the email headers can confirm the digital signature, verifying authenticity. This helps build trust and defends against tampering or impersonation. However, implementing these protocols requires coordination. You must update DNS records accurately, monitor for failures, and tune policies to avoid blocking legitimate email. Many organizations start with the DMARC policy of none to gather data before moving to quarantine or reject. Over time, these settings reduce fraud, improve deliverability, and protect the organization's brand. Finally, let's talk about email gateway security. A secure email gateway sits between the internet and your internal email server. It inspects inbound and outbound email traffic, scanning for threats like malware, phishing, and spam. It also enforces data loss prevention rules and applies encryption to protect sensitive messages. Email gateways use multiple detection methods. These include signature-based antivirus engines, sandboxing for attachments, URL rewriting, and machine learning to identify suspicious patterns. Inbound messages that appear suspicious are quarantined or rejected, while safe messages are delivered as normal. Let's consider a real-world use case. A healthcare provider deploys a secure email gateway that includes sandboxing. One day, an employee receives a message with a Word document attached. The gateway opens the attachment in a virtual environment and detects that it tries to download an executable file. The message is flagged, quarantined, and removed before reaching the user. The employee never even sees the message, and the malware is blocked without incident. Email gateways can also apply outbound controls. For example, they may prevent emails from being sent if they contain social security numbers, patient records, or payment card data based on predefined data loss prevention policies. They may also force encryption for messages that match certain criteria, ensuring that sensitive information is protected in transit. Some gateways integrate with threat intelligence feeds, allowing them to block messages that reference known malicious domains or include links to phishing websites. Others offer real-time reporting and alerting, helping security teams detect and respond to targeted campaigns quickly. To be effective, email gateways must be tuned. This includes updating filters, reviewing false positives, and training users on how to release quarantine messages or report suspicious content. Gateways should also be tested regularly, both manually and through simulated phishing tests, to verify that protections are working as intended. To summarize, DNS filtering and email security enhancements play a vital role in threat prevention. DNS filters block access to malicious domains before connections are made, while email authentication protocols like SPF, DKIM, and DMARC defend against spoofing and impersonation. Secure email gateways add another layer, scanning, filtering, and protecting communications as they enter and leave the organization. Together, these tools reduce phishing, malware, and data loss, and form a key part of any layered security strategy. For the Security Plus exam, expect to see questions about how DNS filtering works, what SPF, DKIM, and DMARC do, and how email gateways protect users. You may be asked to identify the right protocol for securing outbound messages, choose the best response to a phishing campaign, or troubleshoot email delivery based on authentication failures. Review terms like domain reputation, message integrity, authentication failure, email spoofing, and quarantine policy. They're all likely to appear. Thanks for joining us for this episode of the Bare Metal Cybersecurity Plus podcast. For more episodes, tools, and study support, visit us at baremetalcyber.com. And before you take the test, make sure to check out the practice questions in the book Achieve CompTIA Security Plus SY0-701 Exam Success by Dr. Jason Edwards. They cover every domain and are a powerful way to lock in your knowledge.